Howdy folks, and welcome to the business. Today's video is not really going to contain any kind of actual gameplay. Today what we're doing is Q&A. Several days ago I asked you guys to ask me some questions on the YouTube channel so we can crop up a little Q&A session. So that's what pretty much we're going to do here. I'm going to answer some of y'all questions and pretty much let's dig in and see what you got for me. So the first question kinda is, somebody's asking what Des did years ago riding his motor or skill did about food was interesting. We'd like to know what kind of life Orzy lives away from all the tanks. Well, we do actually post videos sometimes of our experiences, right? Last outdoor video was the muddy volcanoes, if I'm not mistaken. And previous before that we had a nice trip in Bulgaria, so check it out because we do post stuff like that. Somebody else is asking, why don't you post in Romanian? Well, yeah, that's something I get all the time. I always started the streaming in English from the very beginning because I thought to myself, I can speak English, so why wouldn't I try to actually, widen my audience, try to have a broad audience, right? If I was just to stream in Romanian and make Romanian content, I don't know how many Romanians would actually watch. Romania is not exactly a very big country, and how many Romanians would actually watch me play tanks? Instead, I stream in English for a much wider audience, so yeah, would make no sense for me to split my audience right now into who can speak Romanian and who can. So the stream was always and will always remain to be in English, in stream and the YouTube channel, obviously. Another interesting question. Why not make a second channel for Twitch replays? Well, normally that would be a good thing to do. I don't think my main channel is big enough on YouTube to be able to do that, right? So for now, we're going to go with edited videos. I'm also, like I said, gonna keep adding some Twitch highlights from the good games I get. So we're gonna combine them all into this channel. Another lovely question. How about a compilation from Derp Tuesday? Well, that sounds very good, actually. Who knows, if I find enough clips from Derp Tuesday lying around, maybe I will. You never know. Another kind of question that splits into more questions. Have you tried the console version of World Tanks on PC? I haven't. Can in general do good and bad tank setups, not just stock, like using HE and 6 AP shells on Badger or using RD as a TD. Honestly, I don't like making these kind of silly setups on my tanks, While I do make derp plays with high explosive on tanks, I don't like, I don't know how to explain it, making childish setups on my tanks. I do like to perform, whether if I'm shooting high explosive or normal loadouts, so the answer is I don't like to mess around too much besides Derp Tuesday. I like it when Skill gave us a tour of his place. Any chance he'll be doing something like that? I'll be interested in seeing your desk setup. Well, the place I live in right now is rented. It's not actually my place, so I don't really want to give a tour of the place if it's not mine, if that makes any sense, right? And as far as the desktop, as the desk setup, I only got 2 monitors at the moment. It's not really interesting. I'm not really so keen on having a super fancy, gaming setup anymore. I'm just going for what works. I got 1 monitor and the second one through chat, and that's pretty much it. Nothing fancy. Tell us about the cars you've had and the work you've done to them. Well, I only owned 2 cars up to this point. First one was the Mazda, which I made the bad financial investment to put an aftermarket turbo on it. So yeah, that's pretty much been heavily modified. And going from 150 stock horsepower, it went to 230. So turbo conversion, body work, stuff. A lot of money that I'll never get back, but it was very fun. Okay. All in all, it's a very fun car. So Mazda. Now I got a Golf 5 GTI with a DSG gearbox. And this one, learning from past experiences, I'm not really gonna do much to it. Maybe stage 1 and just maintenance works and That's it, okay? I learned my lesson. Yeah. Fun is expensive. Do you think wargaming should make a Romanian tech tree? It's possible. It's possible. I have been asked this before. The problem is, I think most of the designs would be a lot of like Russian copies, you know, the same way like we got Chinese tanks in the game. Could be possible, why not? Who knows? I would like to see a Romanian tech tree, but yeah, that's not really up to me, is it? What's your opinion on the current state of all the tanks? Well, quite frankly, I'm not very happy with the state of the game at all. While quality of life stuff we have in the game, like being able to use med kits, repair kits, stuff like that multiple times, or the wonderful anonymizers they added some time ago, or I don't know, other small things exist, they kind of pale in comparison with the non-existent tank and map balance we have in Will of Tanks, right? I don't think the game balance has been this bad for many years. Like classic Will of Tanks 6-7 years ago, man, it was a pleasure to play, okay? Most of the tanks were balanced. It was nice, okay? No matter what tank you picked, you could have done well. Nowadays, try to pick an E100 and fight against, I don't know, a Super Conqueror and see how well it works out for you, you know? So yeah, I'm not really happy with the state of the game. The balance is like non-existent. There's only a couple of tanks that perform because they're overpowered, and the rest of the tanks, well, you just gotta struggle with them. So yeah, I'm not happy with the state of the game. Okay, another question. What studies you have? How did you meet your girlfriend, fiance? How did your passion for tanks started? What future plans do you have? Well, studies. I went through school. I went through high school. I went through college and I finished it, but I never did my last thesis. So officially, it's not finished, right? Because I didn't turn in my last thesis. But yeah, what can I say? It was never really like into learning too much, you know? If school and college would have been about computers and stuff, even though I guess I could have went for informatics, but that means a lot of maths. I was never really into school, so yeah, what can I say? Don't be like me. Go and study, okay? Be smart, go and study, and get a well-paying job. How did you meet your fiance? Well, online. How else? You think like a pleb like me actually gets to go out, you know? I don't really go out too often, so. How did your passion for tanks started? This game was actually shown to me by my friends when I was working at the internet cafe. Some of my friends were actually playing it, and I saw them do it, and I kind of got into it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There's no super special story about it. I just saw them playing, and I started playing with them, and what future plans do you have? Future plans. I don't know. Keep streaming. Make enough money to buy a place of my own. And just keep on living. I don't know. Yeah. Somebody else is saying, maybe a video about why T30 is your favorite tank. Yes, about that. I hate you all. Stop making me play T30. I don't like it, okay? Please. I've said it. Another question from our resident Slow Opal user. What prompted you to leave the internet cafe and start full-time streaming? Well, as I was working at the internet cafe, I also started streaming in my free days. And pretty much when I saw that I made more money that I made like my salary, pretty much. When I saw that like in a month of streaming I made more than my salary, I decided it's time to go, you know. What's the point of staying there and doing a job I don't particularly enjoy too much when I can, just go do what I love, which is streaming. So that was pretty easy. When I started making more money than my real job, it wasn't too easy because I wasn't getting paid a lot. Also, 230 horsepower Golf or 340 horsepower OPC. Well, obviously the answer is the Golf, because the OPC wouldn't leave the starting line because the gearbox would fail. What other games are you into and consider streaming them or putting them on YouTube? I always play like a lot of other games. Recently I've been playing New World, I've been playing Forza Horizon. Obviously I've been, playing Tarkov from time to time. And many other single player games, I always like, alongside with World of Tanks, I try to add some other games. The problem is the World of Tanks viewership, they don't really like seeing anything else but World of Tanks, so it's very hard, So I keep World of Tanks as the main game, and whenever I can, for example, I got a day off from tanks when I just play other games, I try to, add more stuff. As far as putting them on YouTube, yeah, well, people don't really watch, so yeah, it's a World of Tanks channel, so the main content will be World of Tanks, unfortunately. If you could change three things about World of Tanks, what would it be? Oof. Well, first of all, I think I would remove penetration RNG. Gone. Don't care so much about the min-max damage, Pen RNG, gone. Second of all, probably remove artillery. Yeah, you probably were expecting that. And third of all, well, can I, like, as the last thing, say I would balance at least tier 10 gameplay? That's what I would do. Do you think what will be after World of Tanks? Well, you can't know what the future, has in store for you. If World of Tanks will like stop working one day, I'm sure I'll keep playing other games, right? I mean, I'm a streamer, YouTuber after all. My thing is not to just play World of Tanks, so you never know what the future has in store. When did you start with streaming or posting videos on YouTube? How much time did it take you to do missions on the Object 260 and 279? Well, the missions for the Object 260 and 279, I believe it took me like 2 months each, but 2 months like fully focusing on the missions every day, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah. And when did I start streaming or posting videos on YouTube? 7, 8 years ago. It's been a while. If you go on the YouTube channel and select the date of the videos, you're probably gonna see that maybe 2013 was my first video, 14. Yeah, I'm streaming for 7, 8 years or more. Kinda lost track of it, so yeah. Your favorite tank on each tier starting from 5. Sorry to disappoint you, but the only favorite tank I have in this game is this bad boy, the shit barn. Nothing else really clicks for me, okay? If there was a tank I could play all the time, there it is. But I can't really say that I got favorite tanks. I pretty much play everything. Another question, do you care about overall performance? What motivates you to play World of Tanks? I do. I always try to play the game as good as I can. And obviously I get pissed off when, I do mistakes. I don't care about stats. I care about playing as good as I can, though, if that makes any sense, okay? Like, I haven't cared about stats for many years. But the goal is to provide quality gameplay for the viewers to enjoy. And for me, obviously, because it's like a challenge, Get good games and perform. What motivates me to play World of Tanks? Well, obviously, first of all, I make a living out of this, right? That's the biggest motivator. And apart from that, I try to set up goals for myself on what to do in the game. That's very good when you play a game for many years and yeah, you don't know what to do. I try to grind gun marks, I try to maybe grind ace tankers, I try to grind the new tank line. I basically just set up like different goals you know, and whenever I got something I want to do in a certain day, I don't really get bored, you know. So that's what you gotta do. You gotta set up goals for yourself. Alrighty, and the last question I selected is, do you want to have kids? Well, of course I want to have kids. Well, maybe just one, because you know, raising a child is probably a very hard thing. But yeah, in the future, sure, I want to have like a mini Orzy. Who doesn't? Alrighty, folks, that was pretty much our Q&A session for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe the video, and of course share it with your friends so we can grow this business to astounding levels. Until next time, take care.